What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got an interesting topic to discuss because it looks like the same analysts that were saying that the Nintendo Switch couldn't hit its 20 million goal have all of a sudden about-faced and said that the 20 million goal is realistic after unexpectedly good holiday sales, even though Smash Brothers didn't drop unexpectedly in the fall of 2018 or winter or whatever you want to call it of 2018. But we're going to go ahead and get into what Takahashi Mochizuki had to say from the Wall Street Journal and my impressions of that and kind of the breakdown of what could happen leading into Nintendo's investor meeting at the end of the month, in addition to the year end by the end of March as well. So on Twitter, Takahashi Mochizuki from the Wall Street Journal had this to say in a post, and then a clip of his new article that he's going to be writing. And then I will read the original Twitter tweet in addition to a little bit of that article that he clipped on Twitter. So he said, "My latest Nintendo story. Nintendo's goal of selling 20 million Switch forecast in FY18, a long shot? Maybe not so anymore, says analysts. Some expect firms sold more than 10 million units in October through December quarter alone." So here is the title of the article. It says, "Nintendo's Switch sales goal, no pipe dream, market talk. Analysts are increasingly believing that Nintendo's goal to sell 20 million Switch consoles this FY is realistic. Holiday demand was unexpectedly good, they say. Many had through reaching that sales total for the year through March was a long shot. Ace Research Institute's sales last quarter hit 11 million. That as F1H sales were 5.1 million. Nintendo has said ahead of January 31st Q3 results, analysts now expect Nintendo to raise FY earnings guidance, but more so on the strong demand for software, which is more lucrative than hardware. Nintendo shares are up 5.1% this week and 8.9% for January after December 15th's skid." So there's more if you guys want to check out the full article. I will have a link to that in the description below, but I want to talk about a number of different things. First and foremost, these analysts and what they have to say in terms of the Nintendo Switch goals and what is realistic and what's not. And now that they're saying, okay, well, it was unexpectedly good holiday quarter, but why was it an unexpectedly good holiday quarter? In that same October to December range, Nintendo released Super Mario Party, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, in addition to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a game that has every single character in Smash Bros. History and then some, and some of the biggest third-party Japanese stars out there like Cloud and Bayonetta and Mega Man and so many other characters. So I don't understand why this would be unexpectedly good when we all knew Smash Bros. Was going to do very well. We all knew those games were going to pull their weight, especially with Mario, Pokemon, Smash. That is a trifecta of amazingness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is really good. So I don't know why they say unexpectedly. Now look, I get it. Some people felt that Super Smash Bros. Wasn't going to carry as much weight as Nintendo would have hoped to. I get that, right? It's one game. People are looking at 2017. They're looking at Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Legend of Zelda, and they're saying that doesn't compare to 2018 in terms of that. Like, 2017 is so much better, but you have to remember the 2017 games don't disappear. The 2017 games are still there. There are still way more people than there are actual like Switch systems sold, right? So even if 2017's games didn't come out in 2018, that doesn't mean 2017's games don't help 2018. This isn't all just Smash Brothers and the games that came out. Obviously, Smash was a huge help to it. We all know that. Pokemon was a big boon, and I get that. But there also needs to be a backlog. There also needs to be other games people can go out there and pick up. And that's what I've been trying to stress when it comes to Nintendo Switch. It's not just about selling whatever game that comes out that month, and that's what the system seller is. It's also the library of games that you can pick up on the system and play. Like, how good are those games? And all of 2017's games still help be system sellers for 2018. And the proof in this is actually the sales results. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, these are all still some of the best global sellers. Every single week you see them in the top sales charts, whether it's the eShop, whether it's Amazon, whether it's the NPD. A lot of these games are still in there. And if you look at like the Media Create sales charts, all of those games are still in there for the most part outside of ARMS, but Splatoon, Mario Kart, Kirby Star Allies, so many of Nintendo's 2017 games or even previous games, earlier games 6 months ago or so or whatever, Mario Tennis, all of these games are still selling and helping the Nintendo Switch reach whatever goal Nintendo wants to have. So ultimately, I think that if Nintendo did have a 10 to 11 million unit quarter, which is October, November, December, that might be a little bit higher than what some were expecting, but at the same time, it's not totally unexpectedly. You know what I'm saying? That's not like, oh my gosh, surprise, Smash Brothers came out, and the hype behind Smash Brothers having one game, a Smash game, for the first time ever that you can play on your TV and also on the go, and you don't have to do the weirdo things that Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and Nintendo 3DS made you do in terms of buying one at one point and that released at one time, and then also another one coming. If you buy both of them, you get Mewtwo. Like, there was all these weird things, certain modes on one game but not the other game, control issues. You can use your 3DS as a controller. Okay, maybe Wii U has like a million different control schemes. So it was just weird at the end of the day, and you take all of that nonsense and you just get rid of it and you condense it into one game. Oh, and by the way, you have all the characters that you used to have beforehand and then some. Like I stated, I mean, that is going to be a big draw on top of everything that Nintendo already has. And then the marketing, I think that's like the biggest thing that they're not talking about here. It's also the sales and the marketing of this system is just dramatically better. So if Nintendo can go out there, put together solid campaigns, have solid games for people to play, then yeah, you can have a massive holiday quarter because the Nintendo Switch is new. The Nintendo Switch is something different, right? PS4 and Xbox One, they do what they do. We know that they're going to get their sales, whatever the case is. But if you want something a little bit different that you can play anywhere or something to supplement what you already have, the Switch is such a good system for that. So I understand why some of them said unexpectedly, but not completely. Like, I don't know what they expected. Did they expect the Switch to not sell huge in that third quarter? I expected it to sell big. Now, whether it still reaches 20 million or not, we still have to wait and see on that one. It seems like if these sales numbers are correct, then the Switch has sold around maybe 15 to 16 million units for the second quarter and the third quarter from when Nintendo reported it at the last fiscal year. So it looks like they sold around that much, 15 million units or so. So they would need around 4 to 5 million units from January, February, and March in order to hit their goal. So you'd need around what? About 1.7 million units for the month, each month or something like that, to hit that goal. So that makes sense, right? So that makes sense for them to potentially hit that goal based on these estimates here. But you also have to realize, guys, that they might not. But the software sales, and they kind of alluded to that in terms of Nintendo raising their projections, and that's the big thing here, guys. The software sales are so good on the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo can kind of spin it any way that they want once they get to March, right? So for example, if Nintendo doesn't hit their 20 million goal, let's say they get to like 18 million, which is realistic, right? They could get to 18 or 19 million or 17 point something. So they're off by 2 million or 2.5 million or less. They can just say, well, we didn't hit our sales numbers for hardware. Where we sell and where Nintendo makes the most profit is software. And software was up here, digital software. That makes us more revenue. I mean, they can just sit there and kind of spin the digital sales and spin the software sales because those have been absolutely phenomenal for Nintendo. That's the biggest, I would say, somewhat surprised, but maybe not, would be the software sales have been so good on the Nintendo Switch and the digital sales more so than anything. And I think that because the system is also a portable in addition to a home console, some people just don't want to have to worry about switching cartridges and all of that. So it's whatever on that. You guys know me, I'm a physical type of person, but it is what it is there. But I think that Nintendo can just spin this any way that they want. So whether they hit their sales goals or if they don't, the software sales have just blown up. And that's going to be the big thing that they're also going to stress maybe in their earnings meeting is, yo, like, look at these software sales. Our hardware sales were really good. Smash Brothers was really good when it comes to it. And we should get some sales numbers for Smash Brothers as well. Personally, for me, and I'll always say this, guys, this stuff is really investor talk. When it comes to the consumer, myself, I just want to see that the system is doing well, because if the system is doing well, then we get more games on the system. And kind of on an ending note here, guys, multiple times when we had live streams about Nintendo hitting their 20 million goal or anything like that, I said, you know what, we should wait and see after the holiday period. Let me reevaluate after the holiday period, and we can see what Smash Brothers did, and we can see how Pokemon did, and how these games affected the hardware, and then we can kind of make our determination if this system can hit 20 million or not. I mean, that's what I've been saying on multiple live streams. Those who come to my live streams, you guys heard me say it multiple times. We need to wait and see after the holiday period, and then you can make your projections or what you think, because Smash Brothers and the other games that came out were going to be big for the holiday season, for that Q3. So I've always said that, and I'm glad that pretty much what I said with that came true, right? Wait till after the holiday season, look at the sales numbers, and it's looking like it had a huge Q3, and then we can evaluate whether it's going to hit the goal or not. Now, we still have January, February, and March. We have some big games coming out, right? New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe just launched, opened up pretty well in Japan. Looks like it's tracking higher than the Wii U version of the game. We also have Travis Strikes Again. Tales of Vesperia just launched as well. And then Yoshi's in March, which should also help out too. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how these 3 months kind of fill out, and then we can kind of get the full numbers once January. At the end of January, we'll get those numbers. Then, of course, in March, we'll see how it did, if they did hit their goal or not. So what do you guys think about this when it comes to the sales numbers and everything with Nintendo so far? Do you think that they're going to hit their goal, or are they going to fall short? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.